This is a journey to greater opportunities for sports development in Nigeria as new approaches evolve to give the sector an entire facelift. Well, you want to ask me how? Well, since the creation of the National Institute for Sports in 1974 and based only in Lagos, not much has happened until now. Today, a solid foundation is being built for Nigeria to take its rightful place in global sports, absorbing technology for creative outcomes in all categories of training, from athletes, coaches, and referees in 36 sports federations. The newly reinvigorated National Institute for Sports now has a solid base in Abuja, developed a 10-year plan, and intend to extend study centers across the 36 states, 774 local councils, wards, and village units nationwide. This is Reshaping Democracy. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. The National Institute for Sports is gradually and systematically moving into grassroots talent hunts and developing new curriculum and courses as it targets an eventual metamorphosis into a sports university. The Director General of the NIS, Philip Shaibu, is on Reshaping Democracy to answer your questions that inquire about the Institute under President Tinubu's administration and how it is moving and aligning in tune with global realities in the world of sports.
What are the plans in place for putting up, updating the sports curriculum to meet international standard, and how it desired enhance delivery?
Yeah, NIS went underground after 50 years. NIS is supposed to be the engine room of sports. And when I mean the engine room of sport, so some of us that understand how a car functions, when the engine is out, the car is just an empty shell. So Nigerian sport has been that vehicle that has no engine because NIS has not functioned. Under President Olusegun Obasanjo, he tried to bring NIS back to life, and he created the Athletes Development Center, which was modeled after Australian Institute for Sport. But unfortunately, after the commissioning, it never worked until President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came and said, look, we want to use sports as a vehicle for engaging the Nigerian youth and also for economic diversification and most importantly for the unity of our country. Because whether you like it or not, sport is the only sector that does not have ethnicity, that does not know religion. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have decided that sport must be given that required attention, especially to engage Nigerian youth, because sport is synonymous to youth. And what has it done? It decided to put the right people in the right places. I am the first NIS boss that is an administrator. It's not from the academic background. True sport administrator. That was the first thing he did. And many people were like, former immediate past deputy governor going to be director general of NIS. But they didn't understand why president did that until now. And we were given one singular mandate: go back and make NIS the center of excellence that it ought to be. And the implication of that is when NIS becomes the center of excellence, Nigerians will not need to do fasting and prayer for Super Eagles or for any of our sporting sports to qualify for any engagement. What have we done so far? The first thing was to look at what was happening in NIS, and we discovered that infrastructure were at the lowest point, manpower at the lowest point, workforce at the low. Everything was just on the ground, not even on the ground. And we came up with a 10-year strategic document, a roadmap to bring NIS back to life. The new thing now is that we've changed the curriculum. Some of the curriculum that are obsolete are giving way. The new ones are coming in, and all of them are going through proper accreditation. MBT and National University Commission, all those ones are going through proper accreditation. And we are going to bring back Cap A, Cap C coaching courses back to Nigeria. We are already having conversation with CAF, we are having conversation with FIBA, we are having conversation with International Federation to bring back those courses back to NIS, where our coaches in Nigeria will not be sitting in the spectator stand each time they go outside to play CAF tournament. I had that experience. My coach took Eklo Queen to play CAF Women League. He was coaching from the spectator stand. He couldn't sit on the bench, technical bench. Why? He didn't have CAF A certificate. So this is what President Bola Tinubu has come to change. Nigerian coaches cannot be sitting in a spectator stand.
How will you institute ensure its course and certificates gain global recognition and accreditation aligned with FIFA and CAF standard?
For you to compete globally and for a certificate to be recognized globally, the end does not just justify the means. The processes to getting to the end is critical. Those are the most important. The end is not the real issue. The issue is how do you get to the end? And that is why, like, we are cleaning up our curriculum. We are digitalizing our system. And we are going through proper academic standard for those that have to do with academic programs. Because in NIS, we deal with academic programs and we be non-academic programs, like training of athletes are non-academic programs. But training of coaches and referees are academic programs. And training for the manpower, for the ecosystem is academic programs. So those that are academic programs, we deal with it. And that is why the issue of curriculum was critical. Accreditation of this curriculum, very, very critical. CAF will only work with you when they see that your processes lead to a proper certification. So certification is not just going to classroom and read and pass. Certification is the process, which is how do you admit, what is the competition in your admission, what is the quality of your admission, what is the standard of training you are giving them, both academic and both practical and theory, and what are your facilities. These are to go. Then after all this, what are the process of teaching and examination? These are to also be in line with standard. And when that is, your accreditation is anchored on this, and your certification is also anchored on this, then the discipline.
DG, sir, what specific improvements are planned for training facilities to support emerging sports discipline and meet modern coaching needs?
We also brought in a new program, stadium and facility management as a course, because we have discovered that infrastructures are built, but maintenance has become a major problem in Nigeria. For instance, the National Stadium Surulere, he has his own spirit when it comes to competition. Super Eagles play in that stadium. You can't beat us. Even if the players are weak, when they enter that stadium with the kind of fans that comes out, it brings out the best of them. That facility is not nothing to write home about today. Abuja, that is supposed to be the latest stadium, we cannot play any football match there. It was run down after Koja. Koja was the last major tournament, and after Koja, we cannot play major tournament in Abuja National Stadium again. Tafawa Balewa Stadium, many of these stadiums, we play FIFA tournament. Today we cannot play. We only have one stadium now, Gospin Akpabio Stadium, where we can play tournament. And that is, today, the president, for the first time for many years, go and check the budget of sport. It has never been so good with our budget until the president is deliberate about what he wants to achieve. And he has decided that infrastructure. We have not even started. This is just preliminary. We have a lot more in next year's budget that we are going to be dealing with. And that is why I'm here. And by the grace of God, I can tell you that Nigerian sport in the next 3-4 years, because a foundation that was shaky, for you to fix it back, it will take a lot of effort. The effort to fix the foundation may not be seen until you start building the infrastructure on the foundation.
DG, sir, how does the institute intend to upskill its staff in modern coaching practices, technology integration, and innovative training methods?
When we got to NIS after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave us the mandate, our website was nothing to write home about. But beyond cleaning up the website, we are bringing in executive courses where we are going to be having online courses, executive programs, in person and online. And we are cleaning up the system in a way that with logging into our facility, you can track those that are certificated from NIS. We are going back to look at all those that are passed through NIS. We are not going to have a data bank of all those that have been certificated by NIS. So that in one glance, you want to check our certificate, check whoever. You don't even need to apply to us. Just go to our website. You can track who has passed through here. But most importantly, beyond the data bank we want to create, the executive courses will be in person and also online executive program. Let me just tell you, we test run our website. We did not do public advertisement. We just do online advert, and we got that number. So you can imagine when we go beyond online advert to say, okay, we are now doing conventional advert to join. It will be like a mecca of students that are actually want to be coaches. Because frankly speaking, we don't have the number of coaches we have in Nigeria are so small to the needs that we need to have in our sport. Our primary school, secondary school, PE teachers, coaches are supposed to be trained by us. Go to them. Most of them are not certificated. Somebody just know how to play badminton, he become a coach. Somebody just know how to kick football, he becomes a coach. Forgetting that there are basic things you need to learn. And those basic, that's why we created the basic course. The basic course is the very ordinary coaching, the first stage of coaching, the basic one. That's why we are making it a 3-month program. After that 3-month program, you now have the certificate ones.
Director, sir, what new courses in specialized areas of sport development, such as sports technology, analytics, or management, are being considered for Nigeria to stay ahead in the sports industry?
Issue of doping has become a major concern for our country. We are setting up, we have a lab that was moribund. We are reorganizing. We have been given the mandate to bring that lab back to life. We are going to be having physiotherapy lab. We are going to be having nutritional lab. We are going to do performance enhancement training lab. These are labs that are synonymous to actually a full-fledged training institute that want to actually train. Because research on players are not carried out by federations. They are carried out by an institute. So we are returning back the institute to that era where we check your your physique, and check your energy, check your metabolism to know even the kind of food that you need to eat during competition, sport nutrition. So we are going into all this, and we are re-establishing all this lab. We are bringing them back to life. Because I was with Emmanuel Okala recently, and he told me when they were in camp in Lagos during 1980 Nations Cup, that he remembered that NIS were the one that were giving them food. And the type of food they were giving to them, all of them were not eating the same type of food. And when you come to camp, they take your blood sample, they take you through a treadmill, they check your energy, and as you enter into the camp, they now, different food, different athlete, different type of nutrition they were giving to them. He told me the story. We are bringing that back to life, because it's not everybody that has the same body mass as far mental and physical physique is concerned. So all this we are bringing back to life. So I can tell you that for you to be a center of excellence, it means that you must follow what is processes. And the processes is from when you come to camp and when you leave camp. So I can bet you that physiotherapy is back as a course in NIS. Paramedics was there, it was dead. So we are bringing paramedics back and now adding physiotherapy into our curriculum. And it's going to be a full course now in NIS. It's not just going to be a subject, but it's not going to be a full certificate course in NIS. So we are hurrying slowly, but we are taking our step one at a time. If we talk about centers, we have Lagos as a base for NIS, as the headquarters for NIS before the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in. That was the only functional place even when it was run down. But as we speak now, because of the mandate he has given to us, he has told us to bring NIS to his core mandate and position it as a national institute for sport, which it ought to be in line with the law. And the law establishing it, 1974, said in 20 years when it was established, it's supposed to be in all the 36 states in Nigeria. But as we speak, it was only functioning in Lagos. Now the president has given us the mandate to establish it in the entire country. So what we've started with, and that is why I use the word, we are hurrying slowly and we are not speeding in the mud. Instead, we are taking one step at a time. We've decided that the Abuja office will be functional now, which is now functional after 18 years. It's now open and is functional. Our first students will be graduating on the 18th. We are opening up the 6 geopolitical zones zonal offices. The 6 geopolitical zonal offices, we have Kaduna for Northwest, we have Edo for South-South, we have Southeast Enugu, we have Northeast Adamawa, we have North Central, Plateau and Kwara, they are sharing North Central as we speak right now. So these are the 6 geopolitical zones where our offices will now be as a center for it. But let me take you to what will surprise you and shock you. NIS by 2028, 2029 to 2030, by the mandate given to us, will metamorphose into a University of Sport in Nigeria. And what we have now, basic courses, certificate courses, and national diploma, 2 years. As I speak, only Lagos and Abuja can take the national diploma and certificate courses, and also combining the 3-month basic course. Now that we have opened the zonal offices, the basic courses will now be going down to the zonal offices. By then the Abuja and Lagos will concentrate on the certificate and national diploma. By 2028, 2029, 30, when we metamorphose into to a university, Lagos and Abuja will now be the university, while the zonal offices now will be the campuses. While state offices will now be open only for basic 3-month courses. And another new thing that will surprise you, the curriculum that we have created, which MBT has also approved for us, you don't need to be a graduate. You don't even need to go to secondary school for you to take that course, the 3-month coaching course. So we have the basic non-educated and the basic educated.
What are the processes for talent hunt and nurturing them for effective utilization in sports, especially for athletes and coaches?
Yeah, for talent hunt, especially for athletes, is a responsibility for the National Sport Commission. Ours is to take the products of those competitions to train for athletes. But for talent hunt, as far as coaching is concerned, it's our responsibility. And that is why we have rigid our curriculum to also accommodate them at the grassroots, whether you are educated or not. That is why that particular training program that we have gotten approval from the MBT is very critical for our talent hunt as far as coaching is concerned. Because there are a lot of them down there that are not educated, but they have played this sport and they are good in it and they can teach it. So we created that curriculum to now have them on board. So as far as talent hunt is concerned, that sector is critical, because if you don't teach these children at that level how to trap the ball, how to hold the racket, how to hold the bat, they will not get it when they become professional. They'll be making those mistakes. There are many of these players today who tell you, they have good skill, but they cannot even trap the ball. Because at that basic time when they were learning it, they didn't learn the act of trapping. They didn't learn the act of kicking. They didn't learn the particular side of the foot that they used to trap or hit, or they didn't learn the particular aspect that they need to toe instead of kicking. It's at that level of basic training. So what we have done simply for talent hunt is to break our program to a level that everybody in the society can enjoy our programs and also taking it close to them. And that is why we are taking basic course to the states.
Sir, which organizations, both within and outside Nigeria, are in partnership with Sport Institute to boost performances?
Yeah. First, the German Institute for Sport the Nigerian Institute for Sport was modeled after German Institute for Sport. And there were exchange programs when this program started with German Institute for Sport and Nigerian Institute for Sport, before the bilateral agreement broke down and everybody went his way. Then Obasanjo came and brought the Australian Institute for Sport, which was used to create the Athlete Development Center in National Institute for Sport. All those we are already in contact with the German Institute for Sport. We are also in contact with Australian Institute for Sport. We are also in contact with FIFA and CAF. We are also in contact with FIBA, and we are also speaking with the federations, because for us to be on the same page, we must engage all these stakeholders. Because if we cannot be stand-alone institutes. We are saying National Institute for Sport must be a global institute and a center of excellence. We decided that we have to clean up our curriculum and clean up our programs to fit global standard, so that we can compete as far as international tournaments and competitions are concerned. Making sure that we not put in policies that are implementable. Because there are some policies you put and they are not implementable. So policies that are implementable, policies that also will attract partners, policies that also will get private sector buy-in. Because another thing we have done with National Institute for Sport is that we are making government responsible for facility development.
Now, that's NIS, National Institute for Sports, racing to achieve short, medium and long-term sustainability programs with efficient courses, accreditation and certification. With a new mandate of sports for youth engagement, unity, business and security, new academic courses in stadium as well as sports facilities management, NIS is equally striving to become Center of Excellence for Sports Development in Africa. The National Institute for Sports equally has trained over 10,000 coaches. All is equally set for the commencement of a research lab, athletes' medical lab for tests, athletes' nutrition, mental health, and courses for diving, paramedics, and physiotherapy. The NIS is surely in tune with global realities in modern sports development. That's Reshaping Democracy. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. Bye-bye.